The second week of the climate conference in Paris commenced with many protesters telling the world leaders it was time to act. Protesters on Monday, the 7th of December, symbolically offered arriving delegates a stark choice between ever higher global temperatures and a below 2 degrees rise they say is more sustainable. Laying a red and green carpet down main thoroughfare through the venue, and asked passers-by to choose a path, marking the routes with banners reading "Sustainable Future this way" and "Climate Disaster this way."
So there is a choice. We can go the high carbon, conventional, business as usual, driving up emissions route that will take us beyond 3 degrees, an unknown impact. Or we can choose today to aim at 1.5 degrees, at staying at a reasonably safe level. That means transforming our energy. It means low carbon energy for the rest, for the future.
Commitments made by countries so far indicate temperature increases way above the 2 degrees threshold, a jump which climate scientists say will cause dramatic and irreversible climate change, and which low-lying island states say will threaten their very existence. Another group of demonstrators gathered in the shadow of the Paris Climate Conference's Eiffel Tower tribute, wearing banners calling for a regular 5-year review of climate progress, one of the most contentious issues for negotiators from 195 countries gathered in Paris. They chanted long-term goals and held up their fingers in the form of 1.5. Meanwhile, the group of 7 most advanced economies known as G7 and the 28-member European Union bloc backed a plan to generate 300 gigawatts of electricity from renewable sources in Africa by 2030, with a $10 billion United Nations promise. African nations led by the continent's development bank last week launched the African Renewable Energy Initiative, which could boost electricity output on the continent where 2/3 of people lack access to power. The idea was put forward, and France and other countries offered their support, that we could move very substantially forward on renewable energy, which means that we can change the lives of lots of people, because if you want electricity, you can start a business and have a better daily life. Mr. Fabio said the funds will be managed by the African Development Bank. We've already raised 10 billion. Egypt, as the leader of the AMCEN, and the African Development Bank will make sure that the most important projects are financed. But it's a very, very important piece of news, because it's going to bring a lot of positive things for development in Africa.